Well, hey everybody, I am camping out. As you can see my pop-up behind me. I am at Crystal Hill Campground, just south of Quartzsite, Arizona. We've been back in Yuma for the last month. My son's daughter was born, so I'm kind of busy with that for a while, but I decided it was time to grab the go and come out for a little camping trip. Just a couple days. Yeah, not much with me, just, a little bit of food for a couple days. The dog, of course. Got the camper set up here. Self-inflating air mattresses are inflating. Looks like a nice, thick, comfortable bed for the night. Dog will sleep here, or probably on the floor, most likely at least. But yeah, simple little setup. Nothing fancy. It's going to be, 103 degrees today, so it's going to be warm. There's nobody out here. Doesn't look like anybody's been out here since the last storm, which is only a few days ago. Hopefully there's not a storm while I'm here, but if it is, hopefully it's not huge, because there are spots out here in this campground where the water flows through. Not as bad as it does out here in the wash, but yeah, we figure we'll do a little bit of rock hounding while we're here. Probably not a whole lot till evening. I'll probably be doing it with a headlamp because it is kind of hot in the sun. But beautiful. Yeah, no signs of footprints or tire tracks or nothing out here. Which is good. Maybe I'll find some decent rocks. Usually every time there's a storm and the wash blows through, it kind of disturbs the ground up. Which right now it's pretty solid. Kind of impressed. I'll have to check all these banks for crystals in them, because every time there's a storm, the water comes through and exposes more rocks on the banks. And I found quite a few, like this one right here. Oh, little tiny one, but still pretty cool. But yeah, I'll be hiking up and down. Short spurts, probably. Probably won't go up hiking on the hill. It's still snake season, so I don't want the dog to get bit. I've got my boots on, so I'm not worried about it too much, but don't want him getting hurt. But yeah, we're gonna be here a couple days, and got a nice tree here. I'll probably be moving around, stay in the shade. My awning does put out a little bit of shade, but that'll be more towards evening. And all I did, I just brought a chair and a table. That's it. Nothing super set up inside. Just gonna be sleeping in there. I got a fan I brought with me. I plug in, so I do have solar power here. I got a solar panel on the roof and a battery bank in the front trunk. So hopefully that works out. But yeah, it'll be a fun adventure, and I'll share what I can with you. Yeah, it's the next day. Out for a little walk in the morning here before it gets too hot, because it's gonna get close to 100 today, but it's in the high 70s right now, so not bad. But yeah, we're out here just kind of exploring. A couple fire pits here. Interesting. Not sure how you would drive to this spot without crossing some of the barriers they have. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Didn't see a soul yesterday. Just basically sat around camp and tried not to overheat. Listen to the radio and kind of just relax. It was nice. It was also hot. I think we hit 105 on my thermometer. Yeah, there's washes all through this whole area till you get, you know, up towards the hills out there, and there's actually solid land. But yeah, we're just out for a walk. Hope to find some crystals, but not too hopeful on that one, but it's pretty nice. I've been out here before, and every time I come out, you know, it's a little different because of the washes. They just change. And we're camped, I don't know, half mile down there, so we went up that way and come back. Just exploring. And what else is there to do out here? And it's strange how some areas of the wash are like hard, like concrete, and others are just really soft. Makes it interesting walking for sure. You know, when storms rage, this is all water. It's kind of crazy to think about how much water it would take to do that, but even up on top where these bushes are, the water goes clear up to them. And these washes out here, you know, wide, take up quite a bit of area. Still fun. Enjoy the trees. Nice piece of quartz there. Nothing I want, but got to be pretty darn good before I collect quartz. I got so much of it. It's common material out here for sure. Scratch marks in the mud. I don't know, maybe a bush or something. I did hear coyotes this morning. They weren't very close. They're, I'd say, about a mile or two that direction, and probably went around the backside of Crystal Hill here. At least from what they sounded like. They don't really bother me none. It's cool to hear them. They are a noisy group. But yeah, explore some more and just enjoy the day today. I head home tomorrow. My battery did just fine with my fan running all night in the go. So that's a good thing. Imagine when the wife and I take trips this winter with the thing, probably gonna have to get another battery bank. Just almost. Just because she uses CPAP. If my fan almost got me down to 10%. So if my fan's almost draining my battery, her CPAP will definitely do it. So might get a bigger one or just add a second battery bank. We'll see. All right, well, campsite right there. Not a very good one because it's small. You can see they got barriers there and over there to keep you from driving out here, which doesn't always work. People find ways. I know I've driven around out in the hills this way and came in, but I couldn't get any closer than about a mile out without having to, you know, go through these washes. Which some washes are okay. Like I said, some of this stuff here is really soft and some is really hard. It'd be easy enough to get stuck, especially out here by myself. Just picking rocks. And onward. Well, we're almost back to camp. Rabbit. Looks like rabbit poop. Actually did see a rabbit yesterday driving around. So they're out here for sure. And there's my camp over there in the trees. Like I said, I picked one of the biggest trees out here to hide behind in the shade, which is good till about midday. And and I gotta pretty much stay in the shade of the awning. Yeah, it's been a good walk this morning. Sweating a little bit, but not bad. Definitely kind of cool to see, you know, the washes themselves. As I said, I've hiked this thing many times. Usually I camp way down there, but since I had the trailer this time, I decided to pick a little better spot. Definitely not a bigger spot, but definitely better. And it is nice that there's nobody else out here. You can't beat that. Oh, buddy, having fun? He likes it anytime he's not on a rope. He listens real well, so I don't have to worry about him running off. Yeah, pretty nice. It's kind of odd to see a fire pit down here, but I imagine in the evenings, probably be a pretty good spot to be sitting in the shade behind, because the sun will be over there and this would all be shaded. Like I said, I've been hiding under the awning, so that's where my shade is. I slept okay in the go. It wasn't too bad. Dog slept on the floor all night. But yeah, like normal. Camp's a mess. My little radio hanging here, my thermometer hanging here, which I barely can even read the thing. I need to get a bigger one I can read. But yeah, Jeep's out here. I was going to turn it around and use the awning, because I have that shade awning on the Jeep here, but I haven't needed it. Kind of a tight fit, you know, the bushes on this side, just enough room on the other side to walk around. Let's see if my battery's charged here. Probably not. Probably not even gonna see it on camera. I can hear the fan in it going. I can't tell. Lighting's too bad. Yeah, this winter there'll be people here camping and enjoying, but this time of year it's just still too hot for everybody. It is kind of hot, that's for sure, but you know, it's no less hot back at camp, or main camp, which we're at Foothills Village camped right now with the motorhome. It's not far from where my kids live, so that's handy. Oh, yeah, time for some water. Well, I'm on my way out. I figured as I was coming out, I'd stop here at the entrance to the Kofa Wildlife Refuge. It's a huge area. All you see out there is all Kofa Wildlife Refuge. That hill over there is outside the park, so it kind of runs along that way. But yeah, been a good little adventure. I think next time I probably won't bring the Go. I'll probably just bring my hammock stand and do that. A lot easier to set up for sure. But yeah, they got a little kiosk here and sign over there with their rules, which pretty basic wildlife refuge rules. Got the Jeep all loaded up, camper tows behind this thing, really nice. And I got a new headlight on the way, or turn signal light on the way. It went out on me. But yeah, it's got about the same ground clearance as the Jeep, so it rolls pretty good. Nice plywood boards are a pain, but they can't come out of there. Yeah, tow's real nice. I went through a couple pretty good dips and didn't hit, so that was nice. Yeah, that's usually they got pamphlets and stuff like that. It looks like they got some. Looks like somebody ripped down. There was another box over here with pamphlets, but this shows the size of the refuge. And the Crystal Hill rock collection area is where I was camping, and this is where I'm at now on the border, just on the northern edge of the wilderness here. But it goes clear down to, almost, 40 miles from Yuma there. Military boundaries, Castle Rock Dam, some pretty cool areas out here. I have not visited up the horse tanks or gone out King Valley Road, which I'll have to do at some point. But yeah, I've definitely searched all this, Palm Canyon, Queen Canyon. It's a pretty cool area out there. I only went so far because the road got really bad out there. Yeah, pretty cool. I just figured I'd share this little short adventure with you, and thanks for watching.